All right, let's see if we are up and running. I've got my typical drag on my mouse as it tries to handle the new text flow. Episode 148 currently. Let's see how my volume is doing. Mic check, mic check. Let's see how my volume is doing. Mic check. Drop that down so it's not annoying. I'm gonna grab a copy of that so I can do the social media postings. We'll get started here in a minute, folks. I just got to do some posting just to let people know that I'm up and at 'em, and then we'll get to work. So maybe I can regale you with my origin story. Hey, my name is Phil Kearney. I create role-playing games. I illustrate them. I publish them online. And I have been running games in D&D since 1987. I've been a Magic the Gathering enthusiast since 1994, and I've been creating content for 5th edition on the DMsGuild since 2017, when the Ravnica campaign setting came out, and then Strixhaven and Theros. We got the hint that Wizards wasn't going to create color mana information about 5th edition with the color mana system from Magic the Gathering that they're very famous for. So that's what got me started on creating content for 5e and publishing on the DMsGuild. It was always a dream of mine to publish, to be a Magic the Gathering artist. It was always a dream of mine to participate in book production for the D&D IPs that I've loved since the 80s. And it was pretty clear that if I was going to do that, I'm going to have to figure out how to do it myself. So honestly, for me, the DMsGuild is a blessing that came along. It's allowing me to crush just a bunch of bucket list stuff that I wasn't sure if I was ever going to be able to do. So I know I'm not technically employed by Wizards, but that I can operate inside of these IPs and create content and use the official logos and use all the actual verbiage and characters and pronoun, all the proper nouns that exist inside the game that you don't have access to unless you're doing fan content. I was pretty thrilled about that. So this has been a big dream come true for me. And so the martial power system that we're going to be talking about today, this is an expansion on the Magic the Gathering system that I've been developing for 5th edition over a number of years at this point. They're all going to be going through an update for 2024, but in the meantime, this martial powers is the next project that I've been working on. Hold on, I think I've got everything updated here. Let's click that into place. Let's go back here. Yeah, good. Okay, so X-Twitter platform, I'm on there. I'm at Phil Kearney. So if you want to get notifications of when I'm live in the future, the artwork that I post obviously is here as well, and you can see all the other stuff that I do. Here on the channel itself, please do like, subscribe, hit the bell icon for notifications when I'm live in the future. Here is the entire playlist of all 148 episodes of me developing the martial power system. Here is Pacts and Patrons of Ravnica, where this artwork today came from, one of the pieces that I produced for that book. My Discord community, you can access through Patreon. You don't have to be a member of my Patreon to access the community, and you're welcome to be there. Let's see, Spelljammer, Combat and Exploration, one of the books I created, the 5 color mana spell point variant rule bundle. All here, all of these books are going to get updated for 2024. But again, first things first, let me get this out of the way. And we have a couple hours today, I think. I'm not sure how much time I'm going to need, but the two tasks that are on my list today, let's first take a drink of water. Let's see, tasks. Martial powers, we want to clean up the rogue, and then we want to look at all the feats. So there's basic rules that have been published. Hold on, let's dismiss that and go back to here. Let's go to game rules, and then we can go to sources, source books, free rules 2024. This probably doesn't have all the feats, but once I actually get the full book next week, I'll be able to see all the feats the same as everyone else. So yeah, looks like they have a slew of feats here for us to chew through. So Let's see. When we were here last time, we were looking at, for those that aren't indoctrinated already, it's a half casting system. So 1 to 5 at 1st, 5th, 9th, 13th, 17th. You prepare a number of powers per day. Powers are non-spell magical effects that can be channeled by spending mana and action economy. And depending on whether you're doing exploit, maneuver, reaction, strike, or sustain powers will determine which type of action economy you can use to trigger different effects or to channel different effects. We've converted all the classes from 2014 into the new system, but the real goal is to convert everything into 2024, because that's when this book won't be publishing until next year. So we got to continue playtesting the 2024 mechanic conversions, and then we actually have to build out the book, edit, blah blah blah. So there's 170 different powers, 115 disciplines. They're called disciplines, just like the monks' way of the 4 elements was called disciplines. There's 115 of them that do require mana, exploits, maneuvers, reactions, strikes, and sustain powers. And then there's a number of meta powers. And meta powers include damage types, combat masteries, which are basically weapon masteries that if you prepare them like a spell or like one of your powers, like you get so many powers per level, and if you prepare them, you can use the mastery with any weapon that you want. So it basically becomes a cantrip. Wizards, clerics, druids, etc. They all have cantrips that they can cast that deal damage and scaling damage per level that have effects that often require saving throws. They're limited to 1 per turn because of the way that cantrips normally work, while martial characters may have 1 or 2 things that they can do per turn. But it's effectively the same thing. So you can prepare these things so you can automatically use them with a weapon you're proficient with. But if you prepare it as a known known meta power, then you can use a combat mastery with literally any weapon. Like the only 2 weapons in the game currently that have cleave, for instance, is the battle axe and the halberd. But if you decide to learn cleave, if you hit if your attack hits, you can make a second attack against another target within 5 feet of your reach. If you hit, roll damage without including your ability modifier unless it's negative. So with cleave, you can hit again, you hit, and then you can hit again. It's kind of like Nick with light weapons, but cleave is with heavy weapons. It would be very realistic for you to be able to cleave things with a broadsword or with a hammer. You get blat through multiple people's skulls as you swing a hammer around. So there's no reason why it needs to be limited to those 2 weapons. But those 2 weapons get that mastery whether you have it prepared or not. And this just allows you to prepare. And we have additional powers that can be prepared beyond, like to disarm somebody becomes a technique that you can perform. Addling somebody so they can't use OA becomes a thing. Grappling, when you hit with a weapon, you can automatically grapple. Let's see, target is grappled. Yeah, you don't have to make a saving throw. If you have this prepared, you don't use an action and they make a saving throw. Instead, you hit and then they're automatically grappled, and then they have to get out of it. Impair, blinded and deafened until the end of the next turn. Yeah, so good stuff here that you can pick up. And then in addition to that, there's a ton of feats from 2014 that we had built in here as things that you can prepare instead of powers or meta powers. And then there are the damage types: acid, cold, fire, lightning, and poison damage that you can do at 1st level, and starting at 5th and beyond, force, necrotic, psychic, radiant, and thunder damage. Since so many things in 2024 are allowing you to do something other than your basic weapon damage, fair game. And then we have the development of each characters. Each character has their abilities modified by how introducing mana as a core mechanic into their character's resources. How does that change it? And I'm about this close to giving barbarians extra mana and just making rage a sustained effect that they spend a point and they rage, and as long as they're sustaining that point, they can rage all day. So you don't have to turn it on and off. It's just on, but it's an option you would pick instead of other things that you could do. Just like the Hunter's Mark, which became Mark of Prey, it became a sustained effect that the Ranger can just turn on and it stays on all day. But it does occupy one of the spaces that they can use to sustain stuff. So it would slow down barbarians a little bit by having less things that they could detain, so they'd be able to turn on and keep rage. Maybe it should just be an option. If you want to, you can sustain rage as a 1-point thing, so you don't have to worry about it. So it never ends unless you're incapacitated. Even if you don't take any actions, you can retain your rage. That's not a bad idea. So you could have X rages per day, and anytime you spend a point, that can count as a rage as well. Yeah, I think I'm good with that. I like that. So we are going to implement that. Let's look at let's see, channeling rage, channeling rage at first level. You can choose to channel sustained power as part of the bonus action used to rage. At 9th level, you gain 1 temporary point of mana to spend if you choose to sustain a power this way. At 17th level, you gain 2 temporary points of mana instead. Let's see, channeling rage. At first level, you can choose to sustain rage as a first rank power. When you do so, first level, you can choose to sustain rage as a first rank power, period, comma, which instead of taking actions, instead of ending after 10 minutes or ending early if you don't use actions. You don't need to take any actions to sustain rage this way. In addition, you can regain uses of rage by spending 1 point of mana. You can expend 1 point of mana to regain you can expend any amount of mana to regain an equal number of to regain any number of spent rages up to your max rage limit. To regain an equal number of, there you go. Channeling rage. In addition, you can expend any amount, blah, blah, blah. Primal stamina. Let's see. Let's make sure the rest of this shit jives. First rank, there you go. When you finish a long rest, you regain all barbarian hit dice instead of half. And as a bonus action, you can sacrifice any number of hit dice up to your max rank of power gained as a barbarian to regain an equal number of mana instead of rolling to regain hit points. Empowered rage. no longer need Empowered Rage. Empowered Rage is now first. Good. Primal Stamina. 5th level Empowered Attacks. It just lets you swap out attacks for more. Brutal Power at 9th level. When you make a strength-based attack with advantage while raging, you can forego rolling with advantage to gain 1 temporary point of mana to channel a strike power if you hit. At 17th level, you gain 2 temporary points of mana. Good. Has a power, barbarian classes, and then we have all the subclasses. I think for now when we build out this book, we're just going to go with the 4 subclasses that are already in the player's handbook. But as you can see, you gain a list of bonus powers. We're going to have to go over all the list of powers eventually and update them because they're one of my playtesters has reminded me that some of them are out of date and they need to be updated and swapped out as we've made revisions along the way. But they all have features, and all the features are recalibrated to jive with the power scaling system that we have in the book. In most cases, classes are going to end up ahead, if not even. Very rarely are you getting nerfed in this, but this is a means for us to bridge the gap from the quadratic choices that spellcasters have that martial characters don't. If you like the simplicity of a non-resource character, then all you have to do is when you gain a rank of power, when you gain powers, just spend them on feats. You don't have to pick up any fancy mana shit or anything. You can learn damage types, feats, and if you want to, some combat masteries, and that stuff doesn't cost any resources to use at all. So you have that there, and it's a viable solution for you. You're not making use of your mana, but that's okay. You'll eventually curve into it as you find it's useful, but you can keep it simple. And I recommend, honestly, that you just have, since you don't have a lot of powers at low levels, take feats. I mean, since you don't have a lot of mana at low levels, you only have the short rest cat. I'm actually going to get rid of the hybrid casting altogether. And we're just going to go with the martial points, which are recovered on a short rest. So you only get 1 point per short rest. But again, all these classes have ways of cheating additional mana in, like the barbarian can expend their hit dice to get mana back instead right away. You get free mana if you're using maneuvers. If you sacrifice an attack, you get free mana to use as a bonus action. So you have infinite mana. It's just you don't get to do as much stuff when you're making use of that infinite mana. So, buyer beware. Let's see. I'm pretty happy with that. Oh, that's right. I wanted to scroll all the way down to the bottom where we're doing the fighter and rogue stuff for now, because we've been rebuilding the tables. I did a comparison of mana cost versus hit dice for the cunning strikes versus the cunning power attacks that we have, and it balances out. The only thing that loses out is the poisoning strike is a little bit more expensive, and you don't get access to it until a little bit later than you normally would using cunning strikes. You'd get it at 9th level instead of 5th level. You can use it at 5th level, but it'll cost you a point to use it, as well as reduce your hit dice. But a nice difference there is that you don't need a poison kit. So, cheers. Let's see. Got that. Oh, yeah. What I needed to do was revise the number of powers that you get. So the fighter gained a fighting style and weapon masteries. We are swapping out. You get masteries for free on every weapon, and you can choose to learn them if you want to. Fighting styles are feats, which are going to be subsumed into the feat list that we're going to be building here in just a little bit. So you don't need a free fighting style. You just get an extra prepared power, of which fighting styles are included amongst the list of feats. So that makes it really easy. Fighters have we have a different prep progression. Everyone has the same max rank progression. Everyone has the same mana progression. It is now that we're looking at how many prep powers do you get. So traditionally, characters start with 2 or 3 prepared powers, and then They scale up, but they have the fighting style and the weapon techniques, which are basically like cantrips that a wizard would get, right? So in the end, when you blend them all together, you have 5 powers at first level to split between those different things. And although your mana supply is incredibly low, this encourages you just to lean into feats, combat masteries, and damage. So types of damage. And again, at first level, we're using a D6 typically. The Battle Master is the one exception. They use D8, D10, D12. No one else starts with a D8 at first level. So Battle Master really leans into the maneuvers that we have in this game. It really leans into them. But okay, so we have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Okay, so 24. Now let's go down to the rogue. Rogue should have less. Let's give 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. $22. Yeah, that feels pretty good. Yeah, that gives a lot of good shit. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Let's look at let's go look at the let's go look at the ranger. Currently as written. Game rules, classes, ranger. Seems a little thin to me. I think I want you to end with 15. Let's try that. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10, 11, 11, 12, 12, 13, 13, 14, 14, 15. Okay, 15, 15. Let's go look at the Warlock real quick. Warlock. Just give me the fucking old school shit. ass. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. All right, whatever. There you go. How does this proceed? Four, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 15, 16, 16, 17, 17, 18, 18, 19, 19. Oh, wow. Okay, so... 17, 16, 16, 15, 15, 14, 14, 13, 13, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 14, 15, 15, 16, 16, 17, 17, 18. 16. Yeah, that's about where I want us to land. Okay, cool. So thinking things through. Yeah, I'll go with that. Okay, cool. So now let's accumulate a list of feats. Let's go back up. Back up to the feats list. Warlock variant. Past all classes. What a big document this monster is going to be. That's a cool look. There we go. $2024 feats. Okay, so going back to, instead of learning a power, you can learn a feat. You don't gain any ability score increases from these feats, nor do you need to meet any of the pre-qualifications. The feats don't require any mana to use, and when you gain a level, you can replace these feats with different power selection. And when you prepare powers, you can replace these feats with different power selections if you choose. All right, so basic rules: you don't get the stat bonus, but you don't have any prerequisites either. Meet any of the prerequisites. To select them. There, so that's the list of powers currently. Let's gingerly step over those. These are the feats that we created that remain relevant. 2024 feats. Let's go look at feats. So clamp that down. Let's go into the list. Feat list. Here we go. This will be fun. This chapter offers a collection of feats, which are special features not tied to a class, character class, A feat represents a talent or an area of expertise that gives a character special capabilities and embodies training, experience, and abilities beyond what a class provides. The sections below explain the parts of a feat and list a variety of feat options separated into categories. Your background gives you a feat, and at certain levels, your class gives you an ability score improvement. Feat, or the choice of another feat for which you qualify. By whatever means you acquire a feat, you can take it only once unless its description says otherwise. Feat description. The chapter's feat are organized by category as origin, general, fighting, and epic. The alphabetization in each category and alphabetized in each subcategory. All the feats are listed alphabetically in the feat lists table. If a feat can be taken more than once, an asterisk appears after its name. Parts of a feat. Category, a feat member of name, which is noted in the feat. If you're instructed to choose a feat from the specific category, such as the origin category, that category must appear under the feat's name. If you're instructed to choose a feat and no category is specified, you can choose from any category. Let's keep an eye on that for epic boons. You can choose any feat. I suspect, though, that epic boons we have a prerequisite of like 19th level. To take a feat, you must meet any prerequisites in its description unless a feature allows you to take the feat without the prerequisite. If a prerequisite includes a class, you must have at least one level in that class to take the feat. Benefits. The benefits of a feat are detailed after any prerequisites are listed. If you have a feat, you gain its benefits. Repeatable. A feat can be taken only once unless its description states otherwise in a repeatable subsection. Stack of feats. Skip it. Origin feats. These are just feats that you can take. So let's just start breaking them down. Origin feats. Alert. Initiative proficiency. If you roll initiative, you add your proficiency bonus to the roll. Cool. An initiative swap. Immediately after you roll initiative, you can swap your initiative with the initiative of one willing ally in the same combat. You can't make this swap if you or the ally have the incapacitated condition. I love that. So alert, 100% on board. Magic initiate? No. Savage attacker. You've trained to deal particularly damaging strikes once per turn. When you hit a target with a weapon, you can roll the weapon's damage dice twice and use either roll against the target. Savage attacker. That's an improvement. Skilled. You gain proficiency in any combination of 3 skills or tools of your choice. I specifically don't grant this one. Because it's too spammable, right? You get 3, and there's only like a dozen skills total. So you could become a super skill monkey, but there's sustained powers already that exist inside the system that give you proficiencies and expertise and options and skill options. So I don't want to include skill. Oh, look at that! There's only 2 origin feats. Okay. General feats. Blah, 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 blah. There. These feats. Okay, ASI, no. Yeah, okay. I suspect there's a lot more that are out there, and we're only getting a selection of them at this time. So we'll figure it out when we get there. Fighting style feats. Archery, definitely. +2 bonus attack rolls you make with ranged weapons. Defense. While you're wearing light, medium, or heavy armor, you gain a +. Defense is good. Defense. Great weapon fighting. When you roll damage for an attack you make with a melee weapon that you are holding with 2 hands, you can treat any 1 or 2 on a damage die as a 3. The weapon must have a 2-handed weapon or versatile property to gain this benefit. It's not a great feat, but great weapon fighting. Two-weapon fighting. When you make an extra attack, when you make an extra attack as a result of using a weapon that has the light property, you can add your ability modifier to the damage of that attack if you aren't already adding it. Two-weapon fighting. And epic boon feats, huh? Boon, boon, boon. Yeah, there's got to be more on the way, I'm sure. So that was anticlimactic. I expected more of that. What I think is going to end up happening is we're going to lose the power attack sort of options. So what I want to do is go down to dire impact. Dire impact, while sustaining this, it's a 1 mana power. So your max rank, and again, it's half casting. So 1 at first, 5 at 17th, and 1, 2 through 4 in between. Whatever your rank is, your max rank of power that you've gained is the total number of ranks worth of sustained powers you can sustain at the same time. So a 17th level character can sustain 5 ranks of power at the same time, and you don't have to concentrate on them. So that could be 5 first rank powers that are all stacked up, or like two second rank powers and a first rank power, a third rank power and a second rank power, a fourth rank power, a first rank power, 2 second and a first, 3 first and a second, 2 first and a third, any combination. So dire impact. Let's look at it. While sustaining this power, weapon attacks are, we no longer have to worry about, let's see, while sustaining this power, we're dropping the magical language because that will no longer exist in 2024. So while sustaining this power, you add 1 plus your max rank of power to your weapon damage rolls. In addition, you can reduce your attack roll by 5 to increase the damage. We want to curb that. You can reduce your attack roll, by 5 to increase the damage. In addition, when you make an attack, you can reduce the result. Thank you. You can reduce the result by 5, and if you hit, you can your damage, the damage increases by +10. So this would allow you to do that with literally any weapon. As long as you just have it turned on, you can do that. That feels a little strong. Two's not, well, 5's enough to be significant. I see why they do it. While sustaining this power, you can add 1 plus your max rank of power to your weapon damage roll. In addition, when you make an attack, you can reduce the result by 5, and if the attack hits, increase the damage by 10. I want to do something like reduce your attack roll by your power, by the result of a power die, and add that much and add that much damage to your to the hit. Add that much damage if you're successful. That's real mathy. 5 and 10 are real easy numbers. Making an attack, you can reduce the result by 5, and if the attack hits, increase the damage by 10. While sustaining this power, you can add 1 plus your max rank of power to your weapons. Okay, cool. Happy with that. I know all the feats are out there. Can I go find them? I don't know. See if the internet will tell me. All new feats for 2024 body. New 24 feats complete guide. Hey, check it out. It's a slum site. Well done, guys. Thanks for serving the public. Don't get ability score increases. You can pick some feats twice. Rarely. We already could do that. Epic boons. Blah blah blah. Great art. Discover related topics. Notable alerts. We'll double check these when we're done, but for now, gain proficiency with 3 different tools. No, that's the same as skilled. Healer. When you use a healer's kit, a creature can expend and roll 1 of its hit dice to heal. A proficiency bonus is added to the result when healing with this feature or spell. You can also re-roll the dice if it is a 1. I love that. Healer. Hey, we're back in it, boys. Is this an origin feat or healer? Lucky. After finishing a long rest, you have a number of luck points equal to your proficiency bonus. You can expend 1 luck point to give yourself advantage on a d20 test. You can also expend a luck point to impose disadvantage on a creature when a creature makes a d20 attack roll. A d20 attack roll. That's an interesting term. But no, not lucky, not magic initiative. Musician, you gain proficiency. No, no. Savage attacker, yes. Skilled, no. Tavern brawler, when you hit with an unarmed strike, you deal d4 plus your strength damage modifier for damage. If the damage dice for your unarmed strike roll is 1, you can re-roll it. You must use the new number. If the damage dice for okay, just as a note, damage dice includes smite dice and other things like that. So if you're making unarmed strikes with Tavern Brawler and you're dumping mana into dealing strike damage, throwing extra damage dice, if you roll 1, you can re-roll it. So that's super useful. Once per turn, when you hit and damage a creature with an unarmed strike, You can push them 5 feet away from you. You also have proficiency with improvised weapons. So Tavern Brawler equals Fat Test. Tavern Brawler. Tough. Your hit point maximum increases by 2 times your level. After getting this feat, your hit point maximum also increases by 2 each time you level up. No, that does not count. What are general feats? General feats. Actor. You have advantage on deception and performance checks to maintain your disguise. You can mimic a creature's sound and speech, which can only be detected with an insight check. Let's do that. Athlete. Your climb speed equals your base speed. You can stand up from being prone using 5 feet of movement. You can make a running long or high jump with only 5 feet of prior movement. Athlete, that's good. Athlete, let's go up here real quick. Check Cliff Runner. Cliff Runner, you gain a climb speed equal to your walking speed, and you can climb this way without using your hands. This is Athlete is your climb speed equals your base speed. Equals your base speed, and you can climb this way without using your hands. That's useful. Stand up from being prone. When you sustain this power, you gain the following benefits. Abilities, you can crawl and stand from prone without requiring additional movement. Okay, that's really good already. Cliff Runner, Blind Sense, Adaptives. There is the Abundant Step, which basically gives you a flight speed, so you don't have to worry about jumping distances, but there is this. So, still useful. It doesn't require any mana to maintain it. It has a place. Charger. And that is Athlete. Good. Charger, you gain plus 10 feet when dashing. If you move at least 10 feet towards a target before hitting them with a melee attack, you can either deal extra damage or push the target 10 feet away. Okay, so that's the Charger feat. Stay here where the feats are at. And let's make use of our second screen here and go up to exploits, charge. When you take the dash action, the first attack you make before your next turn is rolled with advantage, and you can roll 1 power die per mana spent this way, versus Charger feat. Oh, this is extra damage. Who am I to complain? Go for it. Charge and Charger. How about rush attack instead of... No, let's do that as charge for now. No, I like rush attack. Rush attack. You can take the dash action as a bonus action while you are raging. If you do, you gain 1 temporary point of mana to spend channeling the rush attack exploit as part of the movement. This guy's a monster. I love it. Okay, cool. Next. Ferocious Charger, that remains in place. Charge, that is now rush attack. I'll leave it in place. Charge. Breath weapon as printed costs 3 mana to recharge. Cool. Each charge, 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 charge. Rush attack. Rush attack. Rush attack. Just doing some updates. Rush attack. Number of charges, charges, charges. Charges, charges, charges. Charge. Rush attack. Charge, 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 charge. Okay, cool. Resolved. Continue on. Charger approved. Chef. You gain proficiency with cook utensils. Number of creatures who expend hit dice regain an additional D8 hit points. 1 hour during a long rest. That one gives you proficiency. I'm going to say no. Crossbow expert. You ignore the loading property of crossbows and can load them without a free hand. Being in melee does not impose disadvantage, and you can add your modifier to offhand attacks of a hot crossbow. Crossbow expert. Very yes. Well, that could be a fighting style. Crusher. You can move a target up to 5 feet away with a. You can move a target up to 5 feet away with a bludgeoning attack once per turn, as long as they're not more than one size larger than you. When you roll a critical hit with the bludgeoning weapon, attack roll against that creature have advantage. Attack rolls against that creature have advantage until the start of your next turn. Crusher is great now. Crusher, arguably a very good feat now. Defensive duelist. While holding a finesse weapon, you can use your reaction to add your proficiency bonus to your armor class. This lasts until the start of your next turn and applies only to melee attacks. While holding it, you can use a reaction. Yeah, defensive duelist, that's cool. I think we have a similar exploit mechanic though, so let me look at reactions and then exploits. How does that go? Assuming this language is correct. While holding a finesse weapon, you can use a reaction to add your proficiency bonus to your armor class. This lasts until the start of your next turn and applies only to melee attacks. Yeah. So limitations. Our reaction should hold because it costs mana and it's a general. It just whenever. Bait and switch, control fall, deflection as a reaction to when you or an ally within reach of your melee attack are hit by an attack roll. From a source you can see the attack is re-rolled, taking the new result. This re-roll cannot score a critical hit. pose, reposition, faint. As a reaction to when you miss it, no. Reposition, no. Counter attack, no. Moving, redirect, roll. Saving grace, control fall, bait and switch, anticipate. Exploit, overrun, rush attack, subtle, swift. Bonus attack, coordinate attack, dash attack, distract, flatten, block. Allied assault. Where do you go, you little bugger? Anticipate, bait and switch, controlled fall, deflection. As a reaction to when you or an ally from a source you can see. As a reaction to an enemy that can see within range of weapon attack becomes prone, faint, interpose. As a reaction to when an ally within reach of your melee attack takes damage from a source you can see, you can take any portion of the damage and gain resistance to that attack. Expert for revival. Distract, flatten, goad, rally. No. Recover, breath of life. Abundant step. Well, definitely has a place for now. Yeah, we marked that right. Defensive duelist. Yeah, that's really good. Dual wielder. When you attack with a light weapon, you can use a bonus action to attack with another one-handed melee weapon. You don't apply any modifiers. Sure, why not? Dual wielder. Durable. You have advantage on death saves. You can use your bonus action to expend and heal with a hit die. Cool. Durable. Durable is great. Highly recommended. Elemental Adept. Choose one of the following damage types: acid, cold, fire, lightning, and thunder. Your spells ignore. Okay, that doesn't count. Okay, touch doesn't count. Grappler. Hitting with an unarmed strike can add damage and grapple. Can deal damage and grapple together only once per turn. You have advantage on grappled targets, and your speed isn't halved when you drag around grappled targets, as long as they're your size or smaller. Hey, 20-minute timer, keep it rolling. Only one per turn. Hitting with an unarmed strike can deal damage and grapple together. You have advantage on grappled targets, and your speed isn't halved. Okay, cool. Grappler's good. Grappler! Great Weapon Master. When you hit with a target with a heavy weapon, you deal extra damage equal to your proficiency bonus. When you roll a critical hit or reduce the target to 0 hit points with a melee weapon, you can make another attack with your bonus action. Great Weapon Master. When you roll a critical hit or reduce a target to 0 with a melee weapon, you can make another attack. Oh, with your bonus action. Got it. Sure, why not? Heavily armored. No. Heavy armor master. Any bludgeoning, pierce, and slashing by an amount equal to your proficiency bonus. Nope. We're not doing the armored feats. Inspiring leader. When you finish a short long rest, you give up to 6 allies, including yourself, within 30 feet, temporary hit points equal to your. No, we're not going to do that. Just like Chef, we aren't doing that because that's a rest mechanic thing. Keen Mind. You gain. Nope. Lightly armored. Nope. Mage Slayer. When you damage a creature concentrating on a spell, they have disadvantage on any saving throw to maintain concentration. Once per short long rest, if you fail and you can automatically succeed. Okay, yeah, I'm cool with that. Let's go look at our counter attack. Hold on. They have disadvantage on saving throw to maintain concentration. They have disadvantages to maintain concentration, and now let's look at our reaction for countering strike. Countering strike! A countering attack. As a reaction to when a creature within range of your weapon attack casts a spell. How did this go? When you damage a creature concentrating on a spell. Ooh, concentrating on a spell, they have disadvantage. To maintain concentration. Got it. Counter attack as a reaction to when a creature within range of your weapon attack casts a spell. Make an attack. If it hits, the target takes damage and must make a Constitution saving throw against your channeling DC, or half the damage dealt, whichever is greater. If the save fails, the spell is disrupted as though affected by a counter spell. If the attack misses, restore the mana to your pool. So Mage Slayer supports countering attack, and they're good to have in a pair. Good to know. Martial weapon training, no. Medium armor, no. Moderately armored, no. Mounted combatant. When mounted, you have advantage against targets smaller than you or mount, and within 5 feet of it. Your mount also gains evasion, and you can force an attack to hit you instead of your mount. Yep, mounted combatant. Great spell. Feat. Observant. Gain proficiency, no. Piercer. You can re-roll the damage you deal with a piercing attack once per turn. When you roll a critical hit with a piercing attack, roll 1 extra damage die and add it to the result. Piercing. Poisoner. You ignore resistance to poison damage. With 1 hour and 50 gold pieces, you can also create a number of poison doses equal to your proficiency bonus. You can use a bonus action to apply the poison. Now we're going to not include poisoner in the general list. Polearm Master, you can use your bonus action to make another attack after attacking with a quarterstaff, spear, or heavy plus reach weapon. This attack deals d4 bludgeoning damage. You can also use your reaction to make an attack with that weapon when an enemy moves into your range. Polearm Master. Resilient. You gain proficiency with a save with the ability score of your choice. No. Ritualist. No. Sentinel. You can make an opportunity attack against a target within 5 feet that tries to disengage or hit someone other than you. Yeah, Sentinel. Shadow touched. No. Sharpshooter. Your ranged weapon attack ignores half of 3/4 cover. Being in melee combat or at long range also doesn't impose disadvantage. Nice. Sharpshooter. Shield Master. Once per turn, when you hit a target within 5 feet with a remotely weapon, you can bash. Target must strength save. If they fail, you can choose to either push them 5 feet or knock them prone. If you succeed on dex saving throw when holding the shield, you can use a reaction to take no damage. Shield Master is pretty good. Combine Shield Master with Downtrodding, you can knock them prone and then bash them as a reaction. Not bad. Skill Expert, no. Skulker, you have 10 feet blind sight advantage on stealth checks to hide in battle, and if you miss while hidden, you remain hidden. Ooh, Skulker is really good. Slasher. Once per turn, when you deal slashing damage in an attack, you can reduce the target's speed by 10 feet until the start of the next turn. When you roll a critical hit with a slashing attack, the target has disadvantage on all attack rolls. Slasher. Speedy. 10 feet. Opportunity attacks at disadvantage. Nice. Speedy. Super useful. Spell Sniper, pass. Telekinetic. You learn Mage Hand and you can cast it without components, making it invisible and extend its range by 30 feet. Telepathic. You can speak telepathically. I'm going to skip telekinetic. Something tells me to. Telepathic. You can speak telepathically to someone within 60 feet. They cannot respond to you. You also learn to detect thoughts. You can speak telepathically to someone within 60 feet as long as you share a language. I am not immediately on board with telepathy and telekinesis now. Skill, empowered ability, close quarter, crouching. Let's go down and take a look at the Psy Warrior. Psy. Telekinesis makes so much sense on Psy Warrior. Telekineticist. You gain a telekinesis feat, and that frees up a spot in telekinesis to be something. Let's go down to the Mastermind. Is the Mastermind? Yeah, Rogue. Hold on. Or it might be Psy Warrior. God, Skulker is such a fucking great feat too. What is my aversion to Poisoner, Chef, telekinesis, telepathy? It's because you're gaining a skill type effect that allows you to do things during short rests as extended activities. Some of these things are giving you spells, which I don't want you to necessarily have access to, and Because then it's like, can you spend mana on this or can't you? Then you have to start making caveats about, the channeling feature can be used to spend mana on spells if you want. I'm not necessarily into that. I'm not necessarily not into it, but I have to really reconsider it. So I'm staying conservative for now. I'm being willing to open that up later. The thing is that you don't get the poisoner feat until 4th level. Right? Like there's no way for you to get access to it normally before 4th level. So if I don't add it to the list of if I don't add that feat to the list of powers you can learn, you can't have it as a 3rd level assassin. And that seems a little ridiculous. So poisoner, chef, I'm still fine with telekinesis and telepathy not being on the list, but I do want to update it. Yeah, Poisoner stays on. Inquisitive, Keen Mind, Linguist, Trickspringer, Mind Sense, Mastermind, Telepathy. Maybe I'm just being itchy. All right. Telekinesis, telepathy, we'll put them back on the list. Telekinetic. Invisibility at 1 level. No. Shadow Touch is just spell oriented. Ritualist, spell oriented. Poisoner, good. Observant. No, because you're gaining proficiencies. That's different. I don't want you gaining proficiencies. Phew, 2d8, Jesus. Poisoner's really good. Poisoner, Observant, you gain feats, no thanks. I don't need skills. All the armor stuff, definitely skipping past all that. Weapon training, skipping past that. Keen Mind, skipping past proficiency. Inspiring Leader. Inspiring Leader's okay. GHI. Inspiring Leader. Anything else that I missed? Armor, no. Revenue Master, okay. Grappler, yes. Adept, no. Durable, no. I mean, yes, but it was Yeah, we're good there. Cool. Now we're down to telepathic. Good. Warcaster, you have advantage on Constitution saving throws and concentration. You can cast a spell. No. That's a spellcasting thing. Even the half casters, they can pick it up. Weapon Master. You gain the Weapon Mastery property of one simple or martial weapon you are proficient with. You can switch to a new weapon after a long rest. Doesn't say repeatable. Huh. Well, that's horrible. Fighting styles. Archery. Blind fighting. You gain blind sight to a range of 10 feet. But up here with Skulker, and you have 10 feet blind sight. Alright, well, whatever. Anything else? No, fuck you. Alright, whatever. Blind fight. I think that's a missed opportunity. Defense. Dueling. You get a +2 damage bonus when wielding a weapon, a melee weapon in one hand. Dueling. Weapon fighting. Interception. How's that go? When an ally within 5 feet of you is hit with an attack, you can use your reaction to reduce the damage by 1d10 plus proficiency bonus. You need to be holding a shield or weapon to use this benefit. Interception. All right, we better check our I think we have some sort of interception something up here, so we better reference that. It's a reaction. Interpose. As a reaction to when an ally within reach of your melee attack takes damage from the source, you can see you can take any portion and gain resistance to it. Let's interpose. Impose disadvantage. You can use your reaction to impose disadvantage on all attacks, targeting them until the start of your next turn. You need protection is not bad. I'm fine with that as is. Protection. Interception, reduce damage. Okay, we got a interception type thing in here. Feint, downtrodden, deflection. Deflection. As a reaction to when you or an ally within reach of your attack are hit by an attack roll from a creature, you can see the attack is re-rolled, taking the new result. Use a reaction to reduce the damage by a d10 plus proficiency bonus. Got it. Protection when an ally can see the target by an attack, you can use reaction to impose disadvantage. Okay, fine. Protection. I don't think that contradicts anything else. Downtrodden, feint. Nope, sure doesn't. Perfect. Interception, protection. Thrown weapon. You get a +2 bonus to damage rolls when you hit with a thrown weapon. Okay. Thrown weapon. Weapon fighting. Add your ability modifier to the attack and damage rolls of your offhand attacks for weapons and light property. Unarmed fighting. Your unarmed strikes deal d6 plus your strength modifier, bludgeoning damage. If you aren't holding a weapon or shield, this damage increases to d8 plus blah blah blah. Start your turn. Your unarmed strikes deals plus. If you aren't holding. If you aren't holding a weapon or a shield, this damage increases. Start of your turn, you can also deal d4 bludgeoning damage to a creature you've grappled. Sure. Fighting sounds good. And then epic boons equals nopes. And there you go. Bob's our uncle. So let's drop that out of the way. Let's go back in here and take a look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43. And it was 32, so we now have 43 instead of 30. Well, granted, fighting style was kind of a cheat. So, 43 now. $56, $66. $66 plus 115, 176, 181. Cool. All right. So that's sussed out. Let's see. Done with that. Step that out of the way. What time is it now? It's 4:10. I've been at this for about an hour and a half. This is probably a good place for me to stop. So I'm going to go ahead and stop. Hey guys, thanks a lot. Anyone that's interested in this stuff, we're playtesting. We have a 6th level 2014 playtest this upcoming Monday, and I believe that's going to be the last playtest we're going to be conducting. We'll then be floating over to, we'll then on Tuesday next week, we'll start converting everything, like everything, including all the color mana books that we've created. All of it's going to get converted over. Rebuild absolutely all of it. All the books that I've published, we're going to convert over to 2024. We'll leave the legacy edition of the 2014s. We'll leave those in zip files that'll be included with download. So what we'll have as previews will be the new tech in 2024, but you can see the old language in 2014 in the document, so we'll have basically old and new. So everything that exists currently is going to get replaced, but you can always check out older editions of it by downloading the older editions, like Nature's Ally, for instance, the Druid Wizard Conjuring Strix class option that we created. That's going to have to get rebuilt. Spellpoint Warlocks has to get rebuilt. Elemental Key got to get rebuilt. Pacts and Patrons of Ravnica needs to be rebuilt. Spellpoint Warlocks, Universal Spell Points, Color Mana Core Mechanics, Knights and Tricksters, those all need to be updated. Martial Powers, we're still working on the Eberron book. Spelljammer needs to be updated. There's more Spelljammer books on the way, as well as a subclass book for Spelljammer themed characters. That got put on pause because of 2024, but we'll be updating that once it kicks. Warforged and Machines plus Giant Kaiju. Those books are coming down the pipe. We got a lot of stuff heading out this way. So if any of this stuff seems cool to you, stick around. I'll be back tomorrow morning to do more artwork. I'll be back Thursday night to do probably martial power stuff. We'll see. And then Saturday morning is our workbench. We'll see. Well, we'll probably do playtest stuff. So anyway, that's it for now, guys. And thanks a lot for checking out. I'll see y'all on the other side. Cheers.